You are watching Limited Resources Draft Series on MTGO Academy featuring Marshall Sutcliffe.
Hey guys, Marshall here from Limited Resources, and we are doing a little, Vintage Masters here on MTGOacademy.com. Pretty excited for this set, and it is finally here, so let's draft it. Let's just select that one here. Let's take a look at our rare Lightning Dragon, 4-drop, 4/4 flying. It's obviously quite powerful. It does have Echo of 4 though, so it's not exactly the pinnacle of efficiency, but it beats down pretty hard. And it even has fire breathing for down the line. There's also an Exile here. Beetleback Chief is very, very powerful. You get 4 power and 4 toughness for 4 mana, and it's spread out. It makes it really difficult to deal with, but Mana War, that's my favorite card. I'm taking it for sure. And we'll see where things go from there, but I do know that I love a Mana War and have found really great use for it too in this set so far. So let's see what happens. Deep Analysis is really nice. Solar Blast is pretty good. What does Goblin Settler do? 1/1. Oh, yeah, that's not too good. And this is 6 for a 4/4, 2, discard a card, put a +1/+1 counter on. Or it gains flying, first strike, or trample. Just permanently? Actually seems pretty cool. Very clunky, but pretty cool. Paralyze is a very underrated card in my mind in this set. Really a sweet little card. I'm going to take Deep Analysis here, but I think we're going to wheel something very useful out of that pack. This one has stuff for us all over the place. We don't really want a Nevinyrral's Disc, but Carnophage, yes. Douthie Mercenary, yes. Fledgling Djinn, yes. Cloud of Fairies, sure. Not exactly exciting in a deck like this, but it's fine. I think the best is probably just Carnophage, though. It gets down there early, and it lets our Mana Wars really kind of go to work. All right, here's another card. Oh, this is a good one, though. Ring of Gix, it's clunky as hell, but man, when it gets going, it's really nice. Can kind of scale with whatever they have, and you're usually pretty happy to pay the echo cost on it, even if it is, like I said, a bit clunky. Chainer's Edict, perfectly playable, though you do run into that Beetleback Chief deck sometimes, and you're pretty miserable about it. Paralyze and Sarcomancy both go right in the deck. I'm going to take this ring, though. I haven't actually had a chance to play with it yet, so I'm just curious to see what it does. So I'm going to pick it up and then kind of go from here. Urborg Rising is fine, but not exciting at all. Lurking Evil, what do? Pay half your life, round it up. Oh, and this thing becomes a 4/4 horror with flying. That's actually really interesting, except for the fact that it costs triple black, which is... that's pretty prohibitive. I think I'm going to take this Caldera Lake and maybe look for a little splash and see what we come up with here. Killer Whale... it's fine. Krosan Voring's okay too. Addle's just barely okay. Take the Whale. And here's a Paralyze, which I will take. Death's Head Buzzard, also playable and pretty good against those token decks. Famine. Haven't really come down either one way or another on Famine yet. I don't know where it ends up. All right, another Carnophage. I'll take that. Guy's Embrace, Trample, yeah. But let's just take Carnophage. Looks like the blue dried up a little bit for us here, but there's a decent chance we get good blue in the second pack, and we don't need a ton of it. But the cards I like to look for here are cards like Ophidian, Mana War. Love those two. All right, here's another Exile. This card's pretty decent. Target non-white attacking creature. So if you're getting beaten down, you get rid of it. I guess we're going to take a Tyrant's Choice here. But I'm not a big fan of this card. I mean, basically it says your opponent loses 4 life. It can be okay. I mean, sometimes these decks get off to a quick start and you just need that piece of reach to kind of finish them off. But the fact that it only does the damage once, or loss of life once, is pretty concerning. In that, it's not a repeatable damage source. I mean, just a 2/2 for 2 can do that much damage. All right, I'll take a second Paralyze. See if we get back one of those black cards. We did. In fact, we got both of them. Let's see here. Douthie Mercenary or Fledgling Djinn. I mean, Mercenary is obviously better, but it also costs a full mana more. Yeah, I'm going to take the Mercenary here. I think we're fine at 3. All right, that's nice. So black's looking pretty good. Blue's not as good. What? No, I don't remember you offending me at all. Not sure what we're talking about exactly. But yes, okay. And then one of these things, which we probably don't want. All right, so this next pack's going to be super interesting because I really like what we have set up here with the double Carnophage, paralyzes, and, you know, some good beaters here. But we're going to need some help. Oops, did I show everything? Yeah, I did, darn it. And, yeah, I want to see some more Mana War. I want to see some Ophidians here. Let's make this happen. Ooh, Visara the Dreadful. Ooh, Foil Tolarian Academy? That's got to be something. Yeah, it's worth like 7 tickets, which is basically a booster pack in here, so I'm going to be taking it. But it's hard to pass Visara the Dreadful, Animate Dead. Brainstorm's okay, but I really like Mesmeric Fiend. And, of course, Visara is just insane. I mean, I could pass this, but it seems a little foolish to pass. Like, if Legacy ends up becoming a thing, you know, this could be worth a ton of tickets. So I think I just have to take it here. Little bummed to open up an on-color bomb and have to take the money card, but this is how it works for sure, especially in Vintage Masters land. It is a rough landscape for sure. Genesis is kind of cool, but I'm going to take Choking Tethers here. We want to be able to get stuff out of the way. Ding. Oh man, and Plead for Power. So basically what happens is you just almost always end up drawing 3 cards. That's what you can do by default. You can vote for the extra turn, and they can give it to you if they want, but usually you'd only do that if you were going to win anyway. The 3 cards are generally better. So it's a good card, but I mean, Deep Analysis arguably better. Like, it's in the same ballpark. You're drawing 4 cards off of 1. So, you know, it's not amazing. Prophetic Bolt is amazing, and we can splash it with our Caldera Lake, but I'm going to take Mana War because I really just feel like we don't need to get super tricky here. Ooh, this is a tough one. Waterfront Bouncer, one of the best cards for this type of deck, but Ophidian and Predatory Night Stalker are both really awesome. Wait, what is this? At the beginning of each upkeep, you draw a card and lose a life, and it's a 7/7? That's pretty sweet, but we're not casting that thing. This is really tough. I don't know what to take here. I guess there's a Foil Tendrils too, but I mean, Ophidian is sort of the default pick here, but Waterfront Bouncer is so powerful. The problem is that right now we can get rid of stuff, but we don't really have anything to back it up with. So I'm going to take the Ophidian here and just sort of be very sad to myself. Frantic Search, no. Defiler's good. Defiler's quite good. Power Sync's pretty good. Aquamoeba is totally playable. Our Familiar's even fine. Well, we probably just want the Defiler here. I mean, it's a beater and it's removal. It's kind of hard to ask for more than that. This one's interesting. We've got Null Rod, which isn't really a thing. Rescind, which is reasonable, but I think we just want the 2-drop. And there's 2 of them. There's a flyer that hurts us to go with our Carnophages that also hurt us, or there's a Can't Blocker that doesn't hurt us, but probably ends up being more of a liability. I think I'm going to take the flyer here. Since when is flying not good, right? Skywing, Aven, or Sarcomancy. Probably just want a Sarcomancy here. Generally speaking, if you can curve out with Sarcomancies, Carnophages, Paralyzes, and such, opponent's going to have a really tough time keeping up. Owl Familiar, yes. All right, so Nightscape Familiar or even Lonely Sandbar is an absolute option here, as is Brainstorm. I mean, Brainstorm is definitely not the nut here. It's a tempo play that we'd rather just have our deck be as redundant as possible and not need to dig for certain tricks like Brainstorm. I'm going to take Lonely Sandbar. I think it's really good. Spinal Graft, I suppose. I could take a Floodplain, but I'm going to take the Graft. I'm not going to start it. I'm not a big fan of it. Oh my god. That is sick. Really happy about that. Choking Tethers or Bad River. This is just a land, so we can't search it up anyway, so we'll probably just take the Choking Tethers here. Take the big Tusky. I'll take this, but it doesn't actually do what we want. All right, what did we get? Crater Hellion. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 4 mana. Wow, that thing's good. Can't play that one, though. I think we just want this Ophidian over here. There's Urnamjin. Kind of cool. Krovikan Sorcerer is pretty good in a deck like this. Obviously, it loots, or you can discard black cards to start netting cards. It's actually quite nice, but Ophidian beats down and also draws this card, so I think I'd rather have that. Power Sync's fine. What does this one do? I don't understand why this card is even... X number of instants and sorceries, and then it's like this really expensive to loot. I don't like that very much. I think I like Repel, Power Sync, or Nightscape Familiar better. Thought Squadron's okay as well, but it's pretty expensive for what you get. So I'll just stick to probably just a Repel. I do need some more creatures, but this isn't really the type of creature that we want. Yeah, I'm just going to take the Repel. Ooh, Hymn to Turok, Living Death. Another Carnophage. Wow, this is a great pack for us. So Living Death basically takes all the creatures on the battlefield and puts them in the graveyard, and takes all the ones in the graveyard and puts them on the battlefield, which can be really big. But probably not super amazing here. Like if you have a solid discard outlet, you can just like pitch every card in your hand and then Living Death, whatever 2 or 3 creatures your opponent played. I think we actually just want a creature, maybe just another Carnophage. I mean, Hymn to Turok's obviously ridiculous, but we only have 11 creatures right now. We actually have 12, but I'm feeling a little bit light on creatures, so I'm just going to take another Carnophage, and we're just going to be a Carnophage deck. Yes, we will. All right, Barrenmoor or a Chain Lightning. Adel, I'm not really that interested in. I'll take a Chain Lightning. It actually seems really good in a deck like this. All right, Mesmeric Fiend is going to beat out Repel and Fallen Ascari. Fallen Ascari definitely puts up a fight between the two, but Mesmeric Fiend can really wreck certain decks and just make it really tough for them to hang. Chain Lightning over... I mean, we're not taking Beetlebag Chief, but that's the card I'm looking at. And now we find just sort of nothing but an Adel. I'm going to cut the Adel. I'm going to cut the Tyrant's Choice. Mercenary, Graft... Yeah, I'll take the Mercenary. I'm pretty happy, actually, to pick that up. That thing can be good. I wonder if I can... This thing's awkward. So basically I've just got I just have to play like a mountain and a Caldera Lake and just hope to get there. It's not the worst. But with 2 Chain Lightnings, I mean, I guess these could be finishers for us as well. Oops, don't want that. Probably don't want Killer Whale either. I don't know. We've got double Ophidian. We've got Choking Tethers that cycle. We've got Deep Analysis to draw cards. We might be able to just dig our way right to the red anyway. What do we want here? Sky Shroud for us? Do you do anything? No, you don't do anything. Urnamjin. That thing's a pain to get around. Armadillo Cloak is not very good against us. We have double Mana War. We've got Choking Tethers. We can certainly keep things at bay. Oh, let's cut Arnhem Djinn, I guess. All right, Academy Elite came back, but we're not really going to have much in the yard. It is for all yards, but, you know, when we're heads up, it's just not that big of a thing. I think I want Death's Head Buzzard. I could take Power Sink. It's a, you know, counter unless they pay X type card, which can be really good. I'm going to take the Death's Head Buzzard. That was kind of a panic pick there. Do we want a 6-drop? No, we just want another Dauthi Mercenary. And another Uprising. I'll take a Tyrant's Choice as well. I mean, maybe we end up being like super aggro on that, but basically we have a lot of built-in ways to mess with creatures, like 3 Paralyze, 2 Mana War, Ring of Gix, I forgot about that, and then double Choking Tethers, Repel, and even like Prophetic Bolt, Chain Lightning, all can interact with our opponent's creatures favorably for us. So we don't really need to run too many like exclusive spells to do it outside of this stuff that we have. I don't think we want Killer Whale because it's, well, it's just kind of mediocre, to be honest. I like this though. That's pretty awesome. Spinal Graft is actually probably okay in this deck, but I don't really see a big upside to taking that extra risk on. Buzzard might not make the main. I haven't decided yet. Buzzard is pretty decent against those token decks because you can play it and they just can't really attack you unless they want to do it once and then lose a bunch of their guys. But it's and it's evasive flyer too for 3 mana. Like, it's a decent card overall. It also does though, like, it kills this, it kills all 3 of these, it kills this thing. Like, it kills your own stuff too. Mana War, Ophidians, Deep Analysis, Repel. So that puts us at 22. Now, Prophetic Bolt seems like an obvious include because we've already got like at least just 1 free red mana source here. I think I want this ring. I could definitely see not playing it too, though. It's just so annoying, and it only takes up 1 mana, and it's like, yeah, I think we should probably play it. Like, we're not going to be turn 3 in it very often, but we can turn 4 it. Like, we can play Ophidian, and then like turn 4, play Ring of Gix, tap something, attack it, get in there, pay the Echo, and then not really care. I think that's pretty good. Owl Familiar is definitely not super high on the list of awesome stuff here. We could probably just cut that. We could call this a deck, or we can find some way to shoehorn these Chain Lightnings in. I just feel like having 1 Prophetic Bolt and a Caldera Lake is pretty easy for us. And this card is just insane. I mean, it is so good. Now, what we could also do is just not play it, though. I mean, we're sitting on 22. Like, I could pick up any number of, you know, like, boom, there's a deck, right? Or I can run an Addle, you know, and just get them. I could run both Tyrant's Choice and just be like hyper aggressive, you know, drawing cards. These things does 4 to them and just finish them off. In fact, I could just run this deck like this, because when you really look at it, it's actually like this. And this could definitely just be, we're going to play 16 lands and we're just going to get people. Maybe we should just do that. I haven't ran Tyrant's Choice yet. I am curious to see how good it is. Let's try it. We will play the Lonely Sandbar. And that's it. This thing says 10-5. I don't think we need to go quite that extreme. That's 6 mana. Oh, maybe it is. It's actually 10-6. Probably something like this is better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blue sources. All right, I don't think we want the Lonely Sandbar anymore. With only that many islands, I don't want to have one that basically always comes into play tapped. So this looks pretty decent to me. I mean, these go here. And I think we can just kind of run over our opponent. I mean, we need heavy black, or we need black at the beginning, but realistically, there's only 1 double black card in the deck. All right, so this thing's pretty darn aggressive. We're going to have some different builds of it. Like if we face a deck that, maybe this isn't going to be very good against, and we can back off on it. But until then, I want to see what happens.